everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to put some stuff up here. Okay. Whew, there we go. Okay, so I am going to cover a topic that is a product that seems to be in everybody's hair arsenal. And, I mean, it's something that everybody uses anymore, and it's super important to use it correctly and to make sure you have a good one. Otherwise, you can have some pretty poor results. So if you have ever watched a video of mine before, just put a 1 in the comments. If you're new, type the word new in the comments so I can come back and say hi to you. And we'll get started. I don't like to wait a long time for people to jump on, so if you're jumping on live, just type the word live so I can say hi to you while you're in here. Hi Carrie, hi Amy, I see some people jumping in here quick. So dry shampoo, it's like a staple in every mom's hair arsenal for sure. But I mean, every girl has dry shampoo anymore. And dry shampoo has been around it's really been around for centuries, but within the last, 10 years or so, it has really, it's almost like developed a cult-like following. Everybody uses dry shampoo. It's used in between traditional washings to extend the life of your blowout. It can freshen second and third day hair, and it really just saves you a lot of time not having to rewash and blow dry and style your hair. So it can be an absolute game changer for people. It's known to be oil zapping, people who tend to get a little bit oilier at the scalp, or it's great for kind of reboosting volume and root lifting, also deodorizing, So it definitely is a great product to have and to have a part of your regimen. I actually also use dry shampoo as a styling aid. So people who have very fine, super soft, limp hair, I can use dry shampoo even on freshly washed hair. I will use it to just give it a little bit of grit and give it that second day feel, making it a lot easier to style. So while we can talk about all of the great things that you can use dry shampoo for and how much we love it, how can something so good be bad, and how could it potentially ruin your hair? So that's what I'm going to share with you today. If you are a dry shampoo user, put a thumbs up, because you're going to want to know this, and you're going to want to, stay tuned so you can figure out if your dry shampoo is something you should be using, or if you're using it correctly, and some tips and tricks that if you are using it, and how you can avoid some of the serious complications that can come from using dry shampoo. Hi Samantha. Hey Jamie. Thanks for jumping in, guys. Okay, so first thing, this is one of the major things you need to know about dry shampoo. Most of them are powder based, right? So the powder is what's going to absorb the oil or the grease, and the powder bases can be anything from different starches, flours, some even contain talc. And talc is, well, it's linked to ovarian cancer for one. So there's a lot of studies on how talc is really not a good substance, and not something we're going to be wanting to apply to our scalp and our hair and anywhere near our bodies. But talc is actually stone dust. It can actually cut and evade the cuticle of the hair, which would cause damage. But just the properties alone of the ingredient, it's toxic. You're not going to want it on you. The other thing that is in dry shampoos a lot of time is alcohol, and alcohol will dry out your hair. So it might actually help in the process of drying up the oil, but if it is a very drying alcohol, it's going to dry up the actual strands of your hair, which is, dry hair becomes brittle hair breaks. That's why we see damage. So there are some ingredients that are in all of the dry shampoos that I know of. So which ones are better, which ones are worse is what you're going to have to weigh out. Also, when using dry shampoo several days in a row, it can cause buildup, obviously. Most of the time, you put the dry shampoo on and then you brush it out and you think most of the particles are removed, but there are some that remain, and then, they top on top of other styling products that are buildup, that cause buildup on the scalp. And buildup on the scalp can lead to, any kind of fungal overgrowth. It can lead to seborrheic dermatitis, which is like red, scaly patches, or like little red dots, or red dry skin on the scalp. It can also cause really stubborn dandruff and flaking. So if you're having those problems and you're an avid dry shampoo user, it could be a buildup issue. Let's see, for ingredients in dry shampoos, also, they can trap bacteria in your hair follicles. And clogged hair follicles for one, will cause inflammation. Inflammation on those hair follicles are going to cause them to shrink, which is, it's going to, cause thinning over time. So you're going to notice hair loss and thinning. You're going to notice that, the actual density of your hair is going to change. It's going to be a smaller, thinner hair with not as great of an anchor down in the follicle, because that follicle is inflamed and infected. So we want to make sure that we're using a product that isn't going to cause that. Also, inflamed follicles can cause pimples or cysts on people's scalp, and if those pimples or cysts scab over and scar, you're looking at permanent hair loss and an absolute disruption in that hair follicle and its growth cycle. So, big problem. Another thing with dry shampoo too is that when you overuse it, some dry shampoos can really weigh the hair down, and when weighed down, super dry hair gets together, it really sticks to each other, and so you can actually lose 3 times as much as the normal shedding amount, because that hair is dry, it's heavy, it sticks to the ones around it, and when normally 1 or 2 were going to fall out in that area, it's going to stick to 6 or 7. And you think that's not a big deal, 6 or 7 hairs, but I'm talking around your entire scalp. So it can lead to some serious hair loss. So what's the good news? After we've talked about all the bad things that dry shampoo does or can do, what's the good news? The good news is that most hairstylists and dermatologists agree that if you find a quality dry shampoo, you use it according to manufacturer's instructions and a little bit of common sense, you can avoid most of these problems. Most people don't have any problem with it. So I'm going to just share a few tips with you that you can use with dry shampoo and before and after, and help you kind of select the right one for you. So I always recommend, and I've been doing hair now for 11 years, so I kind of know a little bit about it, but I always recommend not using dry shampoo more than 2 days in a row, especially if you're a person who puts it all over the scalp. 2 days in a row is probably enough with dry shampoo, and then you need to wash your scalp. But I also recommend that on wash day, you implement a clarifying shampoo into your regimen. Everybody should really be using a clarifying shampoo about once a week, but if you've been using dry shampoo for a couple days now, and you've put product on, additionally every day with your hair, that's the day you really need to use clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoo is going to go in there and it's a deeper clean. It's really going to work on loosening up that buildup and washing it away a little bit more than your regular shampoos. So for sure use a clarifying shampoo once a week, but especially if it's been a couple days since you've washed and you've used dry shampoo in the process, in between washes, you really need to use clarifying shampoo. The other thing is it's not a gimmick. It's not a marketing trick to tell you to wash your hair twice. The first shampoo really goes in and kind of loosens up the buildup and the product buildup, environmental buildup, everything that's on our scalp. It goes in and actually suds up and removes it, but it doesn't have enough to wash it away. So that's why we tell you to shampoo 2 times. Shampoo 2 times because the first one breaks it up, the second one washes it completely away. We're not just trying to sell more shampoo. That's the real deal. So 2 times. I like to wash the first wash with my clarifying shampoo, and then the second time I like to wash with my, my regular shampoo, whether I'm using a hydrating for the winter or a volumizing for, summer months or something like that. Whatever your second regimen is fine too. Also, look at the ingredients on your dry shampoo. Avoid anything with talc. You do not want any product that has talc in it, and try to look for, if you can find a dry shampoo that has something like rice starch that's not going to be drying, and moisture-rich alcohols that also aren't going to dry out the strands of your hair. If you want me to share my favorite dry shampoo, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to share. Like I said, I've been in the business for 11 years now, so I've used them all. So I hope you guys got a few good tips out of this, and like I said, with a little bit of common sense and a quality product, you'll be fine. But if you are having some of those problems, you know, the red flaky scalp, the little pimples, or some stubborn dandruff. It could be actually overuse of a good thing. So check it out and pay attention to what's in your products. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great Friday. Happy weekend.